seen so far.
Very interesting. Both of them super close on the ranks. It was a crazy race in the end, only 16 points away. And we're going to see what the pre-bans are going to be. We know that also they like a lot of control, double strip comps, and we'll maybe see a Han on this matchup.
That's what I want to see. I love Han. He lends to a really interesting game where it's very aggressive. You got to play around the damage. You got to find a way to survive. It's almost like bringing Cleave to the Legend Tournament. Cleave in the Legend Tournament is exciting.
A monster that has Death Break and self-cycling is so strong. Finally, the Kitty on the Shank pre-ban does not want to deal with it, says TARS. And the Tianlang ban on the other side, which means I'm going to pick Ciara, I'm going to pick Gianna, all these turn cycling monsters. Let's see if Aris does what we expect. Does he want to take the Oracle first pick, or does he do something different? Are we going to see another Pontos in this matchup?
Trying to vie for one of those great immunity options right at the start is not a bad play. It does also, again, that's another thing that kind of dictates the speed of the match that we're looking at, playing something a little bit more mid-rangey than maybe aggressive. Cardinal, right here.
We asked for it on the other matchup and finally shows up. 44% HP lead. On the other side, the more really strong, probably Swift or Despair. We don't know yet how the comp's gonna be out. Let's see, he's thinking about it. Probably bringing another option for speed lead. Nope, it is more Okeanos. Great parry.
RTA Season 17 on the right side there.
Pre-nerf.
Yeah, pre-nerf RTA Season 17 looking like. Yeah, the Cardinal pick, super strong. Can't wait to see how it performs here because it's been so strong in this entire RTA season. Chiwu-Gani.
I love the response with Chiwu-Gani because Chiwu is a very consistent stripper, brings an option of speed lead and Ganymede. Counters Okeanos because if you reset someone, I can just give the turns back with a Ventilate and also a great follow-up option to reset out after the Chiwu, and even the bringing right here the PSAM and the Savannah is a little bit dangerous into the Gani, but he will want to take turn one, which tells us last pick should be something like a Triton or an AoE stripper. Yep, on Swift.
Guarantee that you can get through. And on this side, oh, the Heigang to counter the strip from Moore. That's a very great option from
We talked about it before, but remember, and the Kinky finally. I love that pick. A little bit more mid-range like you talked about, countering all the picks on the other side. They like a little bit of damage. Remember, Kinky very strong into this comp without any heals, any sustain. And the Heigang, even though he's really good against strippers, remember that if they reduce your attack bar more than you boost your team's attack bar, it still can be very, very dangerous. So it all depends on the last pick. I love a Triton last right here with a ban on the Chiwu.
Oh, goes for Annabelle. Now that is an interesting pick because TARS only has one source of.
You know what that tells me?
It tells me.
That tells me that he's banning Ganymede because he wants to bring sustain against the Kinky and the Cardinal. No reset, so he'll do a lot of damage, and boom, that's what he does.
Perfect call, kind of broadcasted with the lack of the second one. R is trying to bring this into a death by 1,000 cuts kind of game, making sure that he's getting revenges from Kinky all the time.
I hope this water reuse on Swift and outspeeds right here, or Despair to counter. Yep, he's on Swift, baby. Can he reduce enough attack bars to let him not do anything? It's not enough. It's not enough, Evan. The Chiwu comes in, but the Savannah cuts.
Savannah ready and waiting to cut and apply defense break.
But nothing on the Bison. The glancing comes in. He can't do anything. No stuns. The Cardinal is going to have a feast because he comes in with his AoE and kills one monster, proc, to control the Okeanos and reduce the attack bar. That's what he does. He gets so much attack bar back that he can just provoke the Okeanos again, and the Kinky will destroy the whole team.
Oh my goodness, more dead on arrival here. Cardinal barely taking any damage from the PSAM. Did you see that? Yeah, that was nuts.
Whoa, he cut in, gets some stuns, but the Kinky finishes him off. Another proc from the Cardinal. But the thing is, how do you deal with the Kinky?
That's it. You don't. There was no follow-up there for the Kinky. That was just going to be a longer game where Kinky was going to end up killing the entire team.
Yeah. I love the ban on the Annabelle. We knew that when he picked the Annabelle, he broadcasted that he was going to ban the Gani. And that tells you, I banned the Annabelle, you can't deal with my Kinky, you can't deal with my Cardinal. I got you. You have to hit everything. And we know in RTA, when you play turn one with monsters that have a chance of activation, if you don't hit everything, you might lose. And whenever the other side has countering units, you're probably going to lose.
Maybe a little bit more immunity on this next game as well for TARS, because having the Cardinal to lock you down, take out some monsters, that's a little bit difficult too. And also it'll protect you from defense breaks from the Kinky if we're going to be seeing that same strategy again.
Yeah. Or I would have liked a more aggressive pick as the last pick that wouldn't tell him that he was banning the Gani, right?
Yeah.
Because you could maybe like, you know what, I'll ban your speed lead, I don't have to deal with Chiwu, so I know that if I reduce your team enough, you don't cut me. The problem is the Chiwu cut in, reduces attack bars, and then the Savannah had so much weight. And she had to hit everything.
Imagine if she had landed that defense break and attack bar reduction on Cardinal.
Yeah, very difficult to land it though. The attack bar reduction, it's tough. It's tough. Savannah's a very stat-hungry monster, right? You need attack to hit the death break. You need a lot of speed to hit the attack bar reduction. You need a lot of things on her. Accuracy as well.
It's a little bit of trauma going into those pre-bans right now from game one. The Kinky and the Cardinal, that feels very targeted.
Yeah. The Rs, he says, I got first pick Cardinal. I don't want you to have it, but he gets the next best thing, Okeanos.
Also, both of those monsters are best friends with Ganymede.
Or biggest enemies as well.
Biggest enemies, yeah. Very good point.
Right now, Eris gets the Monkey and Chiwu. Very good comp because they synergize very well, and he knows if the Water Ryu misses anything, you also have the res lead from the Monkey if you want to play turn 2, so you can even bring a Lulu into this, or you can just stay with a comp. Exactly, that is double strip, control, double speed lead. But right now, he knows that the Water Ryu outspeeds.
It's fast. That's exactly what I was going to say. We already know that how fast that Moore is. We know that he can take turn 1, and this is a very similar draft that we're seeing from TARS right now. There's the Tion
I love the Lulu. I told you. Because right now he has fire control, double water, and 100% resist. Lulu is really strong against Water Ryu. PSM does not strip, so now it's probably a Chunk Bung that's going to show on this side. I would love to see, or again, it needs some type of reset, and then another way to start this match, like a Triton. He brings the Savannah once again.
One more time before she loses her runes. We'll see. And a
Gianna.
Oh.
Triton, yes, that's what I wanted to see. I love the Triton pick because right now this forces RS to bring a Leo or a bird. Wow. I love this. This is a great adaptation, but right now he's forced to ban the Leo and try to take turn 1 control. Leo's kind of a forced ban right here, and remember, also the Tianlang counters a lot this comp. The attack bar gain from the Okeanos, it's going to be really strong, but I don't think he can let this Leo through.
It really hinders that third skill. And like you were saying too, poor Moore these days had such a hard time even activating his strip, and if 100% resistance Lulu is on the other side too, he's not going to really land too much. Let's see. It's got to be Leo, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's a force ban. He bans the Okeanos. Very interesting. I would have loved a Savannah ban. I think Savannah can be a key monster right here because we're going to see a strip from Triton. All the weight's on his shoulders, but now you have a second strip follow-up from the Water Ryu. So turn 1 should be to the other side. Yes, he gets it. Mega Tsunami gets the 4-man stun. I love that reduction on the Lulu. Takes attack bars away. He gains attack bar. Will give attack bar, but now this is the moment. Savannah. Yes! She got everything. Great draft. The monster that is popping off is Triton with all the reduction. Can he silence all of them? Yes, sir! That's a match!
That is the game, confirming the kill on the Kitian Deshang.
Even if Lulu procs, she won't have any type of cleanse because she is silenced for 2 turns. Right now, he finishes off the Chiwu, and this is what we talked on game 1. If he brought the Triton, it would have been way better to counter that comp. Even though I love what LD Monster tried doing here, the draft, we could see it on the draft.
I love passing that Tian Lang's own defense break back at him at the final end of the game there. That was great. Yeah, TARS, great adaptation from that whole draft.
And a very dangerous ban on the other side. The Okeanos against the Lulu and a Tian Lang, you're not that worried about it. You're worried about the death break and attack bar reduction from the Savannah.
Yeah.
So that ban right there, yeah, it was very dangerous. The Savannah, when it hits, it can just destroy the other team, and the damage takes the opportunity from the Lulu to sustain the team and make the game a little bit longer and bring you back into it, right?
Right, but sometimes it can be hard to feel that out, especially when you're on kind of a world stage like this. You're used to playing alone with not as much stakes, but this is the legend title and a Hall of Fame entry forever.
A lot of pressure.
Sometimes it shakes you a little bit, but yeah, that's Savannah. That was the game. As soon as she landed the defense break and attack bar reduction, specifically on the monkey as well, that was the main one.
That's the main one. And on Lulu too was very important. The good thing is that Triton counters Lulu so well that it reduced so much attack bar. If you saw, it went to 50% attack bar.
Silence. It's like you were saying. She can't even proc out of it if she wanted to. Two-turn silence, huge.
So
right
if you
now.
guys are having problems with Lulu,
bring two-turn silence.
get a Triton.
Or a bearing or something.
Yeah, Bearing's really good
Hall
too.
of Heroes.
A little bit less consistent, especially since it doesn't have attack bar reduction, but great against Lulu Verd as well. And here, the monkey. Pre-banned again, the Tion Lang pre-ban on the other side.
Interesting.
And now we will see if Aris goes back to the kinky comp that got him the first win. Cardinal comes out. Now he switches. I love this from TARS. The Lulu and Gianna, not yet, because he knows there's a couple units that don't have Will. I don't know if you want to bring the Gianna that early. What does he bring?
Aries is looking to set up with a similar comp to what he had in the first game. The Cardinal, I think, was the first pick there as well.
Oh, it is.
Oh, instead, it's just the opposite order.
Sticks with the Gianna Lulu.
First.
We're probably gonna see AoE strips once again. Is it the Chiwu? No, he brings stealing the Ciara and the Heigang to counter directly the Gianna. That's why I was talking about maybe a little bit earlier for that. But the Chiwu now is on the other side, and he can bring the Oki, which is really strong right here. It gives you the option to control, and you know that you steal it from the other side. He still trusts the Savannah.
Yeah, Savannah really redeemed herself. We saw a nice redemption arc in that game too, where she really came in clutch, landing all those specifically attack bar reductions, defense breaks as well. There's a lot of strip against a Heigang.
Yeah. The thing is, he has attack bar reduction on the Chiwu, so if you reduce the Cardinal and the Ciara, and even though if he cuts, if he can't stun you, it's not on despair, it doesn't do much, right? And he has a Lulu, you can cleanse, sustain. The question is, what is going to be his last pick? If he brings another AoE stripper, he'll be lacking damage if Savannah's banned. I would love to see on our side sustain and maybe a bruiser right here to bruise it off. And he brings Chung Punk. He says, no, sir, I'll bring double speed lead, aggressive. I don't care about that. I want turn one. Who cares?
He's gonna vie for that turn one. Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty intense game from ours here. Come the complete pivot. I was expecting to see some sort of like even the Kinky making a reappearance or something.
And the question now is, what's the last pick? What can you bring? Are you gonna ban the Heigang? Are you gonna ban? Oh,
that's what we were talking about in the beginning.
Is Cardinal getting banned right here? Is that what he's telling, or is it a bait? Because if he bans the Cardinal, he has 2 wind units into a double water, double wind comp. She can bring the Lulu to out-sustain the team and deal a lot with it. I like this Diana last pick. He doesn't have the Tion Lang there to worry about, and it was the last pick. So very, very good. It kind of tells us that he's there trying to bait for, trying to look like he's going to ban the Cardinal.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake here too. If the Diana makes it through, everybody is pretty much AoE as well.
It was a bait. He does not ban the Cardinal, bans the reset. The question right now is, can the Lulu shine? He let the Lulu through. I'm very afraid of that.
I was thinking ban Lulu, to be honest.
Yes.
This is huge.
I'm very afraid. One proc can change the game. Turn one, goes to that Ryu, and the interesting thing is, gets a reduction. Is it on despair? Can it stun? Because the Lulu is 100% res for sure, and it resisted the strip.
Yes, let's see if he can give out some stuns. It might not be on despair.
Evan,
we don't have enough information.
Evan, I told you, the Lulu, if she misses the bomb on the Lulu will cleanse, and she goes ahead.
100% res. Let's see if the bomb connects. Detonate, kind of boom, baby.
This is gigantic. Can she proc out of it? No. Well, the Gianna cut. What? He did it.
This is not to stun the Cardinal?
Interesting choice.
I wonder what he's going for, because this actually, could, in a world, it could cost TARS the match.
Yes, why didn't he stun the Cardinal? Oh, because of the Heigang.
Oh, that's
because of the Heigang. He would just be cleansed. Exactly.
Good point.
Here comes the Ciara to finish that Lulu. He has to kill that monster because the Lulu right now can bring the game back. He knew that the Heigang passive was going to come in. Is the Lulu dead?
Yes, sir. That's 5%.
Well,
I think
it is.
Yeah, that looks 5% to me.
It looks like 5%. Yep.
Really well handled.
If he finishes up, the question is how can he kill this Cardinal right here? It has to be Gianna. If Gianna's dead, the game's over. You can't do anything. The reduction comes in.
And the defense break could be helpful if somebody decides not to glance between either
Yes.
the pony or the Beast
Well,
Rider.
bomb on the Cardinal, and this match can turn around. Gets resisted.
The biggest resist from
Evan.
Ari's Cardinal.
This is so big. He goes for the damage. He can transform.
He's going to transform. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I want to do it.
He
I
has
want
to
to
guarantee.
I
Kill the
wanna see
Ciara. Go the 3v2. Not the
Just
time to
do
risk
it.
it. Not the time to risk
the
it.
greed.
Nah, that's the wrong play.
I know, but it's the greed in my soul, dude.
No.
It's the
And here
wrong
comes
play.
the Hey Gang. Reduces the Gianna. The Gianna probably won't have another chance right here. He has to deal
I love that
lots
he
of
went for
damage.
that. I love that he went for
Yeah.
it.
Can he provoke right here? No provoke! The Gianna has an opening. Right here, lots of damage. Now he can do it, Evan.
He can go for it.
wins!
That's the game.
With
It's TARS.
Diana.
Oh, with the threat from the Diana right at the end, too. He was going to do it.
Beautifully
Oh, I just
played.
wanted to see it live.
Beautiful played. Very interesting that turn when he did not use the Gianna skill, knowing the passive of Hey Gang was
Smart.
there.
It took me a second to recognize it as well, because sometimes you forget. Hey Gang's passive has a lot of clauses in it. It's got a lot of if and then situations.